Probably work better if I actually turn the camera on. Move my headphones over here. Scoot over a little bit, and it's a bit dark. Let's cut you on just a wee bit and get this out the way of the camera. There we go. And move that out the way. There we go. Ooh, man, I forgot how bright that light is. Howdy, howdy. I think everything looks good. Everything looks good over here to me. Right? Yeah. Everything looks good over here to me. I wonder. I guess while I'm here, let me just take a moment to fix something. Because I'm just realizing that this thing I set up is not working. Yeah. Hold on. I was over here. Yeah, man, I might have to do this for YouTube too. I think it's just that, right? Yeah. Now when Twitch does it, that should be good, I guess. And I don't know why all of the triggers went away, but I guess it is what it is. And throw that on there, and now that should work. All right, guys, how's it been? Everything else still looking good. I don't know. The only problem is I can't tell if it's working or not without me actually using my phone. Should have probably already had this up. See, now I'm rusty. Now I'm rusty from having not done this in so long. So now let me jump in here and see. Okay, yeah, everything's good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that worked too. Okay. Wow. So, man, it's so nice to be a slow budding tech genius. But hey, guys, we're finally back. Just brush here a little bit here. Uh, been doing this for a long time now. A really long time. And I can't wait because next month, it's February, right? Yeah, next month it'll finally be over with. Gonna start getting my regular, well, I'll start cutting my hair regularly and stop looking trash. But like I promised, right, we're getting back into the groove of things. It looks good enough. Yeah, get back to the groove of things. So, what are we doing today? I think today, well, unless anybody wants anything in particular, I think we're just gonna burn through some videos I just have queued up. But let's take a quick chat about world affairs, right? Because I see Brian is once again excited that we're back, and it looks like he disappeared off the face of the earth. I wonder if my system auto banned him. Which would be odd because he is moderator, so I don't even know how that would work. But oh yeah, there we go. Nope, definitely not. That's nothing. But let's see what he was posting. Oh, that's right. I'm not gonna be able to see it there because I didn't have it activated until too late. So, oh, that sounds so crisp, man. Look at that. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep. So yeah, kind of what I said like in my last one. Oh, that don't look good. No, it should be good. Oh yeah, no, it should be good. I don't know. It's making it seem like my my YouTube just died. Um, which shouldn't be the case. But I guess I'll worry about it another time. Yeah, we're just gonna have to worry about it another time. This isn't even gonna be that kind of stream. So, kind of like what I was saying in the previous video, guys. I'm sorry. I had a lot of things going on all at one time after the elections. Okay. And you should have been too. Okay. Honestly, you guys should have been too. I understand people were, depressed, saddened, and scared. I know there's people that was definitely scared on what was to come for from the results of this election, and I know a lot of you guys are seeing that a good chunk of it has been justified or came to realization that is actually happening. But I hope you wasn't just frozen in time and you actually started preparing, because you still have, as far as prices go, you still, like I said yesterday, right? You still have, no, day before yesterday, you still have. I'm gonna relook at this time here and let me see, right? Especially now that we have reciprocal tariffs now. I think a big bulk of everything is gonna be put in place until April 1st, and then even then, there's no guarantee they'll have the system up and running to collect it by then. But you don't want to take no chances, so I would say you have 2 weeks. You have 2 more weeks. Tokyo Powers, hey, what's going on? Donald Trump is secretly African American and refuses to tell us. Probably, it would be really nice to see his 23andMe and see like what he is. It would be nice to see the 23andMe of a lot of people. Wasn't it that really funny thing going around? This is like a couple of years ago for like all of the like super racist people, when they had their DNA test results given to them. They were realizing that they were like Jewish or sub-Saharan African or whatever and stuff, and then they had like this dumbfounded look on their face or whatever when they was talking all that ish about immigration, immigration and culture and stuff like that. you know I don't know if you know, but Elon Musk's African. He's South African, as a matter of fact. And we all know this because, like, once he made that pitch, him and the other guy, about the V1 visas, right? All of the racist people, right, that's on the MAGA side, started attacking him about being African, and it was just one of those things, like that one comedian said, right? Like, if there was ever like the craziest racist jokes that you could actually like see miss from a mile away, it was that one. The be going after that man because he's like African, technically, I mean, well, not technically, like he is, but like, how they're trying to use it, and it's just that's not something to hit Elon of all people. So are my messages not sending on stream? Brian, your messages are not sending on stream. I love this AI thing. So like we're dumping deep into our AI stuff. Let me see. Here, I'm gonna use this automated no to you. How to use a toaster strings. Oh my god, bro! I love that AI thing in our Discord. I have plans of making it. So actually, going back to like why I've been gone for so long. So like I said, I saw the writing on the wall with all the things that was going on and stuff. And so one of the very first things I started doing was procuring a lot of hardware. A lot of hardware, as cheap as I can get it, as fast as I can get it. And that's why I was telling you guys, like, you guys have about like 2 more weeks to get whatever your dreams, your heart's desire before that goes away as well, right? Because the prices are going to skyrocket. They already started going up, just because the Chinese have already imposed their export controls on the precious earth metals. I'll text here then. Oh, Ryan, you're on the YouTube, so my YouTube is working. Cool. I'm glad to see that you somehow found it over there. Amazing. So yeah, so like those export controls have verifiably started making a lot of electronics, a lot of electronic components, much more expensive. I have, like I was saying before, I have people that were telling me that, the stuff that I convinced them to buy ahead of time now, right? And then the stuff that I had in my cart that I already had purchased, I just kept in my cart because I just wanted to, like, just to see any price changes for them so that I could justify my reckless spending. Everything $200+ up at least, right, on all these electrical components. So like, yeah, like the time is here. It's not all the way here quite yet, so you still got some time. Elon Musk is president, take over Gaza, Canada 51 state. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that. And then tariffs went up by 3%. That one I don't know. I thought everything was like across the board 25%, 10% additional in China, which I know he put the ones in Canada and Mexico on pause for 30 days, which should be coming up in about 2 more weeks. This is what I'm saying, guys. Y'all need to order. I'm gonna keep saying it again over and over, right? Order these things, whatever it is you had that you thought you might wanted to get, your camera, external hard drive, whatever the hell it is, right? You want to order this stuff now. You got 2 weeks. You got 2 more weeks. But so Mexico, Canada, right? Tariffs on pause, but the Chinese ones went up for the 10% additional, and then China responded with the export controls, right? So I said all electronic stuff is going to go up and it's going to get worse. So buy your things now while you can. You have 2 more weeks before it goes crazy. In fact, you know something? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna schedule my car maintenance next week, and I'm gonna just kind of ball out a little bit on like getting some love into my car. New brake pads and everything. I might have to, because oh man, are those things, especially when the Canadian and Mexico tariffs come in, right? Because those are going to hit the auto parts very, very hard. So if you need new brakes, if you're thinking about, getting you some oil change, or especially oil, right? Gas, I'm not even going to go there. But I'm telling you guys, right? Now is the time. It's a short, shortest month of the year, right? So that means your paychecks will be coming in a little bit faster than typical, all right? Whatever you need, whatever you could get, you should probably get it now before the end of this month. That's all. I'm just that's less I'm gonna say on that, right? And then let's see. Oh yeah, Elon Musk is president. They've been doing a fairly decent job starting to like nip that a bit. I think it's intentional, the way the chaos is being played out with Elon seemingly in charge of all the things regarding to the government. But that's just Trump just doing his hands-off approach thing like he likes to do. Hence is why, why they fired. Did you see that today they fired a bunch of federal workers that handled the nuclear stockpiles for the United States, right? And clearly they didn't realized what they were doing, and so then they started scrambling to try and like get those people back, which I heard which according to some articles, like they've been having a difficult time trying to like track these people down. But it just goes to show you, right, that this burn it all to the ground, like torch it all approach, right, is going to cause like major problems. But you haven't seen nothing yet. You got 2 weeks. Okay, I'm gonna say that throughout the stream. You have 2 weeks. You have 2 more weeks. All right, 2 more weeks. And then you'll see. So meal prep, been up for the following 3 months. We up. I tell you, buy in bulk, buy what you can now. Then this will be a good time. Get you some toilet paper. Learn how to eat as frugal as possible, right? Because you're gonna need to once these grocery prices start going up. Your messages on Twitch are working now. Mexico tariffs on pause because Trump used the leverage on an existing policy. Yeah, and that was guys, I don't understand why some of y'all fall for this too. Okay, y'all need to pay close attention to the things that he does say. And I gotta admit, something, I have to admit, once I really started paying attention to his strategies, they're ingenious for the common ignorant person. Like they really are. Like if you think about it, like if you don't really pay attention to the politics stuff, right? You think that the stuff he's doing is just freaking fantastic. Like my God, he was threatening tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and he got them to give up and do what he wanted with the border to make our border more secure, fight drugs, fight illegal immigrants coming there, all that good stuff. But then if you was actually intelligent and you actually paid attention to what was already happening prior to him, right? Like, for example, the Mexico, like, I don't understand, like, why people thought that was a victory. Mexico agreed to put 10,000 soldiers onto the border. That's what they told him to get him to stop the tariffs. Mexico already had 15,000 soldiers on the Mexican border. So it literally changed nothing. It literally changed nothing. It was so sad. Same thing. And then it was same stuff for Canada, right? Canada agreed to the same shit that they were already doing. And then the worst part is that Canada, right? Most of the stuff doesn't even come through from Canada. So they're just a casualty of just Trump just wanting to just have something to show, because remember, this is all showmanship at this point. So hold on, let me see. Talking to a conservative about economics is like talking to a child how babies are made. You know those what do they call them, the storks, you know, the little big birds that carry the thing. I mean, you know, a lot of people used to believe at the time, and you know, actually that's a good analogy for why, like, Trump's why I seriously do think Trump's strategies are working really, really well, because most people are just ignorant. You know, that's just what it really is. Most people, I remember the first time I met a guy in college that thought women didn't poop. And, you know, I used to think, every so often I reflect back on that, right? And then I think about just, you know, had that been like kind of a one-off kind of thing, like you just catch people. But then, like, it makes sense to me with the age of the internet, how you could potentially get people like that usually crop up in random places, and then they all congregate, and then there goes the MAGA party. I mean, that's what it is. Gulf of America, did you see the name change? The name change has already been done. I can go on Google Maps right now, zoom out, and I see it. Gulf of America. It's been done, baby. All we need now is, I can't wait to be passportless when I go visit Canada, our new state, which is retarded. That's never going to happen. And the Panama Canal, I'm surprised that I don't hear nothing about it anymore, right? You know, after that, what did the Panama people say they were doing? It was something about not renewing Chinese companies or something like that. But after that, I didn't hear anything about it. The Gaza resorts, though, oh my God, I can't wait. I really wish I knew Muslims or Middle Eastern people that either voted for Trump because they didn't like what Biden was doing in the Middle East with regards to Palestinians, or didn't vote at all because they didn't think Harris was going to change the situation over there. I really wish I knew those people as a person, because my God, do I want to talk to them. I want to know what, like, you know, if this was everything you expected, since this is what your votes led to, right? The Palestinian territory is gone. I'm sorry. So many Palestinians voted for Trump. They will get yes. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is now. At this point, it is what it is. Like Ukraine's another thing too. And I feel really bad about that one. I actually do genuinely feel really bad about that one. Ukraine's gone. That's it. Like, there was one slither of hope I had with Trump doing one thing that I thought that was actually in the realm of possibility, not him doing something great or whatever that would have been for the good or anything, because we know he don't operate like that, but something that he would have did that would have still been selfish, but would have, in my opinion, would have secured him as probably one of the most consequential presidents in a positive way for all of human history. And that was to get the Ukrainians, this part he's already doing, to get the Ukrainians to give up the territory that Russia took, right? And just, like, you know, it is what it is. Russia gets to keep the territory, but in exchange of doing that, they become full. They get pushed through to be members of NATO. Because once that would have been done, that would have ended everything. Like, that would have been it, right? Russia would have been cut off, right? Because remember, the whole point of Russia starting the war was just because, you know, Ukraine wanted to join NATO and they wanted the territory, and then, you know, they came up with that bogus excuse about, oh, it's Nazis and stuff like that, and then that quickly, like, they quickly stopped talking about that, as you can see, right? So But when they did that to stop them from joining NATO, right? Then was it Finland and Switzerland, Sweden, was it? One of those two countries, what other country it was, right? Joined NATO. And the thing is that now that those two countries have joined NATO, if Ukraine had joined NATO, if he gets Ukraine to join NATO, there would have been no longer any worry on the European continent for the most part with regards to Russian aggression. That would have been it. Because remember, at the end of the day, most people are ignorant of this, but NATO is a defense alliance, right? There's no Poland starting beef for Russia and then we having to defend Poland for starting it. Like, that's not how that works. All NATO does is just that if one of these countries gets attacked, you're attacking everybody, so everybody will pitch in to defend that country. And what does that do? It's deterrence, right? It keeps Russia from doing what they did with Ukraine. That's exactly what it is, and that's why Finland and whatever other country it was joined. And so I really thought he would have did that. I honestly thought that, not that he would have did it, but it would have been really up there in the realm of possibility on him doing, because it would have given him, in my opinion, would have given him everything he not only wanted as far as ending the war, being a man that makes a deal, being strong business stuff, being tough on Russia, which I see now is just a joke. Like, he has no intention of ever doing that. But it would have also cemented him in history as probably a president that probably would have stopped future conflict for a very long time, because that would have been it. Ukraine's like the last major, I guess, piece of land you could say that Russia would potentially try to make a grab for, right? They can't go for Poland no more, and they really want Poland, but obviously Poland's in NATO, so that's Switzerland and Finland, because I think Finland was used to be Russian territory, I think, if I remember correctly. So they obviously would have wanted that at some point. That's off the table now. So that's that. Thoughts on Reagan? I have no thoughts on Reagan, because I just, my brain does not I don't go too far back. I don't go too far back in history. I know Reagan has done some terrible ish that has probably pathwayed itself to where we are now, but at the end of the day, it's so long ago that, it is what it is. I was seeing this one girl who voted for Trump. God bless America. She is mindless. I ain't surprised she has an undergrad in political science and economics. Beautiful girl, but not intelligent at all. I miss Biden though. I can't even say I even miss Biden anymore, because at this point, I honestly don't even know what to feel. I haven't given up. It's just that we're looking at a lot of bad things happening all at once, and it's not even about these, what has it been, only 3-4 weeks since he's become president. It's not even just that. It's just it's like that, but it's speed running the rest of the long-term problems that I see that's becoming really problematic. Now, there will be no such thing as a balanced budget. I can tell you that much. There will not be any fiscal responsibility going on, right? Because kind of what I said previously, right? Even if fraud, waste, and abuse all together, if that was $100 billion, which is not, it's nowhere near that much. But even if it was $100 billion for a government whose budget is in the $3.4 trillion, that's almost literally pocket change as far as the government's budget's concerned, right? We're still borrowing way more than that every time, since we're so irresponsible with our expenditures versus our income, that if we had a perfect government, it still wouldn't have mattered. By perfect, I mean no waste, fraud, and abuse. So what's going to happen now is, in about 9 more years, we're going to hit a real big fiscal problem that I don't know how the nation gets through without some very serious consequential things happening. If you're semi-age, you need to give up on Social Security. That's not going to be there. If you have your health and you're pretty healthy, you should be looking up ways to stay healthy, eat right, exercise, because medical stuff is going to skyrocket. is gonna get, yeah, medical stuff is gonna get crazy. There will be no there's not, what is it, Medicaid, Medicare, all that's gonna get hit the hardest, right? Because I think our biggest budget items are Social Security, well, not Social Security, but it's definitely medical. I know it's definitely the medical stuff, so Medicare and Medicaid. But yeah, like that stuff's not gonna be there, like not in the way that we see it. In about 10 more years, in about 9 more years, in about 9 more years is gonna be tragic. Now, Destiny's scandal going on right now. It is what it is. He's I want to say that regarding Destiny stuff. So like personally, I honestly don't even really care too much. Just because like his persona, when it comes to like all of the other drama shit that he had, would have led me to believe that he engages in things that at best courtesy I can give probably is not a really good idea, right? I don't know the deep specifics about like what it is he did, but knowing what I do know, it just tells me that he's just fucking retarded. I mean, he's really just fucking retarded. Like, it would have been no different. Honestly, like that situation would have been no different if he wasn't sharing those things with like other people, and then his own stuff had got hacked, and then the stuff got, leaked out that way, right? Like, in the end, probably wouldn't it be as, what they call it, slimy or whatever is the word for it, but I don't really value his personal life. I value his, yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, it's about the message, not the messenger. I gotta figure out how to space that so it doesn't look so. It's like just a big block of white text. I have to look at that another time. But yeah, right. Remember, message and not the messenger. People are saying that was one of the problems with the Democratic Party, was the whole purity test things, right? What's the word I'm looking for? How carnivorous the Democrats were, like, to their own people at trying to like just find like the best person, and if they won't like picture perfect, to just kick them out or whatever. Like, yeah, but like honestly, like with Destiny stuff, I kind of look forward to like how the legal stuff plays out. It just honestly just seems like to me he's just fucking retarded, and hopefully he learned from that and he just doesn't share shit again. It's one thing. I don't necessarily advocate for this, but I will say this, okay? Secretly recording somebody, I have heard of people doing that. And the reasons that they would give me, would make sense if you've ever been in that situation or experienced where like those recordings like saved your life. Like I have actually personally seen like secret recordings like that saving somebody's life when something goes wrong, right? And then there's an allegation. Sure, right? Of course, you're stepping in some very murky legal territory when it comes to that kind of stuff, because like I said, in the end, it's not necessarily legal, but then if the allegation comes and you present it, then it becomes legal, because then it's the whole false allegation thing. It gets really messy. And so like, it's one thing to do that. It's another thing to then just be like, just showing people that. You fucking retarded. He's just fucking retarded. Like, my God. But it is what it is. If he did actually do it, then for somebody that is very articulate, that is surprising that he would do that. Well, the thing is though, it seems like I'm not a psychologist, but it seems like he, like, if you remember like all of the drama he's had with like other women, where they're like, what the hell is that one girl name? That was spending a lot of time with the other guy whose name is ironically Mr. Girl. I can't remember. I remember her being like batshit crazy, and he smashed her. And I remember the fact that most of the girls that he brought on, I believe he smashed most of them. Melina? No, not Melina. The fuck's that girl's name? It was during like it was like during like the Mr. Girl arc thing that they call it. Lav. There we go. Lav. I think her name was Lav, right? And like he smashed it, right? And then it was just like all of this like extra crazy ass drama and stuff that going on, and then like the manifesto and stuff that then the guy that didn't like him was trying to like publish and whatnot. Like once I like got to see him experiencing that, I knew that just behind the scenes he must be just doing like just shit that will do nothing but just eventually lead you into like just like problems. And so like I actually wrap that shit up in it, and that he's just making very, very stupid choices. And regardless of how intelligent you are, like everybody have their vices and stuff, and like what it is they do. Everybody makes mistakes, or everybody have like a really jaded interpretation of what they think they can do or should be doing or are fine with doing versus like whatever. So it is what it is. I'm kind of done on that part. It's not going to stop me from like watching his stuff and like learning from his stuff, right? Because like I said, at the end of the day, I separate the message from the messenger. That's why like I have no problem listening to R. Kelly music. Some people might, but R. Kelly, look, man, you could think what you want, and I understand, but like, let's see, got me unbuttoning my jacket just even talking about her. I just say like the music that he made, it is what it is. So doesn't mean I support him or agree with the shit that he was doing. It's just motherfucker made good music. He made good music. Got good music, exactly. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, for better or worse, this new era that we're in under Trump is going to like break a lot of that stuff. Hence the thing he was talking about with the guy that got rehired when he was talking about when he had all those racist tweets with like Indian hate and everything. Oh man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Diddy's actually a really good example, because I promise you, like if you looked at somebody like Diddy, I know somewhere with his fame and statute, right, there had to have been somebody there that looked up to him, right? And that's not necessarily wrong, right? Because like you look at these people for like their public performance and their public presentation, right? You don't necessarily, you shouldn't be, but you don't necessarily have very much insight or really much agreement with all of the things that they do in their interpersonal lives, right? I'm sure like you get some extreme examples of that with like maybe Taylor Swift and the Kardashians. So I think I've seen people like track really deep into like their interpersonal lives as well. But like for by and large, like I'm sure there's people that probably looked up to Diddy, and then the shit Diddy happened, right? I'm sure somebody had to have said that I want to grow up and be just like Diddy, before we found out Diddy was using a lot of that baby oil. Like it's just, I mean, it is what it is. It was like shit. Well, can't say that no more. So, I'm not gonna mention Drake. Drake's shit was just overly blown out. Like I said, he was the very first video I did on that politics channel. I'm telling you, when I went through all his allegations and stuff, I'm not even gonna go through it. It's just Vance. Yeah, we already know Vance is spineless. Remember, Vance called Trump Hitler. If I recall correctly, I believe Vance called Trump Hitler, and now he's the vice president. And I mean, it works. So like, I'm not fighting it no more. I'm not going to fight it no more. If this is what the nation wanted to vote for, then I will support the nation in moving forward with this. So that's that. I'm sure there's other things too, like talking about people wanting to be like Diddy. Which reminds me, I had copped this shirt. Oh my gosh, man. Can you survive 5 nights at Diddy's? I can't wait to have a reason to put that on. I will put that on at some point on another stream. It won't be this time. I got a bunch of wardrobe stuff. That another thing. While I was gone too, I was getting a bunch of shit for the stream. Like we're gonna make shit. We're gonna make it right. Do you see that video of Trump saying Vance is not his worthy successor? You think I have not seen that, but do you think he might push? what's his face? You think he might push his son? I would, you know what? Thinking about it now, I don't know why it wouldn't be his son. I don't know why he would not push his son. It would make the most perfect sense. And it would be, depending on how these next 2 to 4 years play out, it would be an easy dub for the Democrats if he pushes his son to do it, which I'm pretty sure he's actually probably going to do. He's probably going to try to have Don Jr. do it, and then the rest of the whole Republican like establishment, caucus, whatever you want to call it, then fall in line and then support him. And depending on like how much stuff he done messed up, then it's just a slam dunk on the election. Now the problem, and this is what I'm saying, like this is the scary part, right? Now the problem is that since he'll have all loyalists throughout the executive branch, which includes the FBI, the CIA, and everything, right? That tells me that he's going to definitely direct the FBI to look into the deep dark history of whoever the Democratic candidate is. That's an obvious. I can promise you that, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do secret surveillance, right? Undercover stuff. Because remember, now that he has a Supreme Court immunity, he can direct his head of FBI, his head of CIA to do like whatever the hell they want. And I just wonder if he would really take it as far as to then like start fabricating stuff. Once we get into that territory, man, I don't know how we move from there. But assuming we don't actually bridge that, which we might, but we'll see. Whoever the Democrats are going to bring forth, it needs to be Obama Jr. Whoever the hell they find, they got to get an Obama Jr. to survive this next election cycle, because he is going to use every resource he has with the federal government to make sure that his son wins. This is what I'm predicting. And like that man, first and foremost, the Democrat Party, they need to grow a spine. And like if they, if the dude did some shit 20, 30 years ago, they need to just let that shit just be what it is, what it is, and be, and just push forward. Shit, Trump did it with his shit, so they need to figure something out. We need Harris. Harris is not coming. Harris will not come back. That's it. It's a wrap for her. She's done. That's it. Harris is not coming back. I don't think, to be truly honest, I don't think another woman is going to be making the rounds probably for like another 10 more years. Probably 10 years. I would say 10 years, right? Because now, Hillary Clinton ran, lost to Trump, right? Then, Trump jacked it all up, fumbled COVID, wrecked the economy. Biden came in, fixed it all up, handled inflation better than the rest of the goddamn world. And then he put Harris in. Harris, another woman, and then she lost. I don't think your mic is cutting out. Why? I must be getting might be getting too far away from it. Let me try and get a little closer here. We'll monitor. I'm gonna just stay right here instead of moving around. But Harris being, the second woman that ran, right? Then she lost. I don't think there's another woman coming. Harris is definitely not coming back. That's it. Maybe they might hit the Uno draw 4. It's still bad. Great. Oh yeah. Yep. Now I see it. Let me change something. Hold on. Don't worry. These are just the minor things I just needed just now, because we won't have too much technical issues. I just would have to fine tune this. What I need to see is, I'm sure all I really need to do is I just need to change I think I could just probably change the tuning. First, before I do that, let me look at the video, and yeah, all that looks fine. And okay, so let's just change the tuning, right? Quarter, main, and then see how much of that it brings down. Okay. It dropped that down to 27. Okay, cool. Let me look. What I might have to do too, I might have to make sure I remove some of these old plugins. Cause I hope I don't have any old plugins that are like also trying to do stuff in the background. Let me just take a quick look. Taking a quick look for soundbar, vertical scene, stats, and scene switcher. Yeah, I'll see it. So I'll probably do a scrub at some point. I got one more quick thing to check, and then this should be good though. It should be good now, but I just want to. Oh nope, never mind. I just saw it also tweak out just now. Man, really trying to mess with me there, ain't we? HVAC. Hold on. It's fine now. Yeah, for a little bit, but I saw it tweak out, so I'm just checking one more quick thing here. Yeah, I don't know why it's. I think it's the RAM usage. It's gotta be the RAM usage. It's gotta be the. I'm at the double check that. The problem is that the things that I want to change, I changed some of the stuff, but a lot of that it's not going to change until next stream. I can try and also maybe put that at 25 to like maybe reduce some of that, and key faster. Yep. No, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll leave it a single pass. I like that. That's so where we at now. Okay. Hopefully, all right. Hopefully that works, and if not, we should be good. Hey, my dolphin. Good evening. Glad that you are here. Sorry, I was just trying to make some quick tweaks to the stream so that we are good. Hoping we can get the economy back on track finally. Well, we'll see. Right now it's not looking all that good at the moment. Even if I was to give Trump everything he said would happen, it's not going to happen for probably, I would say, best case scenario, the initial stuff isn't going to happen for at least half a year, because it's just going to take a really long time for tariffs to play themselves out, and then for other countries to then respond. And the goal is, I know he wants is for them to drop their tariffs, so then he'll drop his tariffs, and then that would make things cheaper here and also make businesses here compete better overseas, which would then lead to more economic growth here, which blah blah blah, right? That's that. You're looking at half a year at best for that. At best for that. And then with regards to everything else, as far as manufacturing, stuff like that, if I was to give him what he says that he was trying to do, that would be a couple of years out. So unfortunately, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm highly skeptical, because right now we're most certainly going in the opposite direction. Regardless if it was going to be the best case scenario or the worst case scenario, what's happening now is going to continue to happen, where prices are going to increase. Could take a few years to lower interest rates. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, not only is it going to take a few years for the interest rates to lower, but within this immediate year, prices are most certainly going to go up. I'm already seeing $200+ up on a lot of major electronics since the Chinese implemented their export controls, and then with Trump also putting in the additional 10% tariffs, which he's not done yet with that. So I'll tell you what, regardless of which way you're going, you got 2 weeks. So I was just telling this earlier, right? You have 2 weeks. If you was looking at something that you wanted to buy, and you're in a good fiscal spot to where like you wouldn't mind carrying a little balance on the credit card,
this is the time right now. You have from now till 2 weeks from now to order whatever it is you're trying to order to make it get here before the tariffs take full swing at everything you want to get. So what did you think about the Biden administration? What was the good and bad? So the Biden administration did a lot of good things. Like first and foremost, like they took us out of COVID. Because remember, right? When Trump left, right? Because remember, COVID was originally supposed to be the sniffles that was supposed to go away by Easter, and he didn't take the shit seriously. So then it wrecked everything. In fact, I think he was just on a news conference when he was talking about how like he was going to do these reciprocal tariffs. In his previous administration, but then COVID happened, and then he references all of the people that were dying in like Italy or whatever it was. Like that's even him acknowledging, right, that COVID, he most certainly should have took it seriously, because COVID was no joke. At the time, since we knew so very little about this emerging disease. So big plus for Biden for getting us out of COVID. Another big plus for Biden for getting us out of inflation when compared to the rest of the world, right? Because back then, I was in other countries. Let me tell y'all something, right? People, were so upset with Biden on inflation in the United States. Like, brother, like some of these other countries, like, all these other countries got wrecked much worse than the U.S. did. Like one country I was in, when I first visited that country, right, $1 would make 15 pounds of that country's currency. And when inflation started coming through, $1 made 30. Like their currency literally like value got cut in half because of their inflation, right? We didn't experience anything like what these other countries did in the United States. But and again, I understand, right? At the end of the day, people only worrying about like what's in front of them and what's impacting them. They didn't, grass is always greener on the other side to a lot of these people. So I mean, it is what it is. But big ups to Biden for like handling inflation the way he did, because we literally beat, I'm pretty sure, every other country on the planet when it came to inflation, from how like bad it could have been, how it could have impacted us. What else he do? Right, the CHIPS Act thing. But just like with Trump stuff, right? A lot of those things that Biden was doing, stuff you're not going to start seeing. Some of that stuff you wasn't even going to start seeing until like right now, really. But like some of the major stuff, like the CHIPS Act, you're still not going to see that for a couple of years, assuming Trump doesn't like mess with it. So like, but big ups to that, because like the CHIPS Act was like a major part of bringing manufacturing and all that stuff back into the U.S., especially when it came to like high level skills, right? I don't know why Trump is selling y'all this idea on bringing manufacturing for all these low level jobs back in, with like making t-shirts and socks and all this other shit that's just low skilled worker stuff, right? We should really be focusing on high skill worker stuff that actually has a lot more return. But I mean, that's just me. I mean, maybe there is arguments for that. If we had a unemployment rate of like 10+%, it would make sense. But with unemployment so low, like under 5%, right? We don't even have we don't even have enough workers for a lot of those manufacturing jobs they're trying to bring in that's really for low skilled workers. But I mean, teach their own. It's whatever. Let me see. My Dolphin, what's the thinking from President Trump about these heavy tariffs? What do we gain long term from them? So what Donald Trump is trying to do when it comes to the tariffs, basically, this is just all it is. It is actually really simple. Okay. By imposing tariffs, it's not even so much as like he even believes what he tells you guys about like making the country rich and all the stuff like that, because like you can tell he doesn't believe that when he was talking about the reciprocal tariffs, right? Because if tariffs are supposed to make the country rich, right, then why are you also offering that if the other countries just drop their tariffs, you'll drop your tariffs as well, right? That literally defeats the thing that he kept on pushing everybody about, getting us out of debt and all this stuff by making tariffs, raising money and all the stuff like that, right? So that's not even what he believes. Like, all he's just trying to go for is just strong arming all the other countries into just dropping their tariffs so businesses can compete more. Because at the end of the day, really what it is, he's going at it from a business standpoint. He's not even going at it from a country standpoint of view. People forget that he's a business person, right? And he has business friends. Okay. What he's doing is not necessarily in the best interest of the United States. It's in the best interest of the businesses that operate in the United States, right? If you get other countries to drop your tariffs, right, then your businesses here are able to compete over there, right? Because all tariffs do is just make a product more expensive in that country. That's why people kept telling everybody, right? That's why everybody kept saying, right, that Trump's tariffs were going to make things more expensive in the United States, because tariffs just are essentially a tax on whatever good or service in that country that the tariff is applied on, right? So here in the United States, if we did 100% tariffs like we do on, like, for example, Chinese electric cars. I don't know if you've seen Chinese electric cars. That was it, the Yang U7. Oh my God. Now it makes sense, right? Because Tesla would have been blown out if you had saw some of those Chinese electric cars. But we have 100% tariff on the Chinese electric cars. What does that mean? That means that if they were to try and sell a car that was $30,000, say $30,000, right, is how much they were going to sell it for. The moment it hits the shores of the United States, the tariff gets applied, and now that $30,000 car becomes $60,000, right? So now it makes it harder for them to compete, because now their car is more expensive than the Teslas at the same, range or whatever, right? And that becomes the and then that keeps the business from being able to operate here. And it's the same principle in all the other countries. India, they says historically, the one with the highest tariffs, right? So it's very hard if you want to do business in India to import your products into India, because your stuff will be much more expensive than the Indian companies make, right? And it is what it is. Do you remember, Brian said, do you remember his medical advice about COVID? He literally didn't believe that it was ongoing and gave medical advice to people to drink bleach instead of taking a vaccine, and that Orange took the vaccine before he left office. It was like that, like the thing with the aerosol or injecting the bleach, and it's just whatever. Like he just be off the cuff with a lot of the stuff. And the thing is, he's just feeding off of just like the support he has. Remember, he was the one that spearheaded the creation of the vaccine. That's the most important thing people need to remember, right? We save the rest of the world through Donald Trump pushing the vaccine development process the way he did. Was it Operation Warp Speed, right? And it's sad. It's one of the most craziest, ironic things, right? He created by any measure you can think of, this was probably like the greatest show of American innovation and technological sophistication, to have created the vaccine as effective as it was in the short amount of time that it was, in order to beat the global pandemic. And he can't even take credit for it, because most of his party doesn't like the vaccine or anti-vaxxers, and it's really sad. Like, it's just really sad, and that just goes to show you that sometimes loyalty to party is just more important than everything else to these people. So it is what it is. Which right-wing commentator or debater do you have respect for or think is a good debater with good takes on the right? On the right side, I have no on the right side, I don't watch anybody anymore now. I'd be quite honest with you. I used to like Ben Shapiro. I really did used to like Ben Shapiro, right? But then after his, like, all of a sudden U-turn into Trump the way he did, and then of course, like, he is going to obviously be a shill for Israel. So like, when Trump's doing all these things that obviously are going to, like, just basically wipe out Gaza, right? He's going to be awful. I'm just like, I don't really mess with Shapiro no more. I'm trying to think, who else did I even used to think? I used to think Charlie Kirk was like, all right, but then Charlie Kirk started looking a little flaky. I tried to watch Tim Pool. Not that I was ever going to, like, agree with much what he was saying, but just as a means of just, like, learning to see what these people do. And then of course, the Russia stuff happened, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I gotta wait and see who on the right I can, like, look at, or a prop up that I think is actually, like, maybe worth a little bit of something. So it is what it is. Like, what is it? Tim Pool, and I forgot, like, the other two guys, right, that were, like, getting the Russian money. Like, it's so sad. It really is sad. Not to get too sidetracked, but what I'm gonna find very interested in seeing is when the Chinese and the Russian things start to conflict with each other. I wonder how they're gonna do it. Yeah, Dave Rubin's the other one too, right? Because right now, like, just because of the unique position that things are in right now, the Chinese and Russians are really kind of more or less working together, but they are actually diametrically, is that the proper word to use? But they are opposed to each other. Like naturally, they have natural problems with themselves as well. And a lot of the stuff right now is benefiting Russia a lot more than it is China. And so at some point, I actually do think Chinese interest is going to start weighing their desire to work with Russia, or Russia stuff, right? So I'm going to be really interested in seeing how that kind of plays out. It might take honestly, it might take another like couple of years, but we'll see. Maybe 2 years, maybe not that far out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's quite a lot of bit to go over. I can't really think of nothing. Can't really think of nothing else. That's really more or less it before we start looking at some stuff now. Man, I am like parched now, and I just am lucky that I happen to have this bottle of water here. Man, damn, I'm gonna need to get another bottle of water soon. Um, oh, February 1st, March 1st, or before March, right? Do your food shopping. You should probably do your food shopping. Start hoarding up as much supply as you can. Toilet paper, all that good stuff, right? I really think stuff isn't going to hit until April, but I mean the way they're presenting it seems like March 1st. A lot of that stuff are going into place, guys. I said it in my last stream, like the amount of things that I purchased in anticipation of like how bad these tariffs are going to be. I have spent probably the equivalent of 2 to 3 salaries of children sweatshop workers. Okay, I have bought so much goods, so much. Okay, all Chinese. The Chinese do make some good stuff for cheap. I'm sorry, those sweatshop workers, man. It is what it is. I needed to get that stuff before they start becoming aggressively expensive. Especially if you're like a Temu or what is it, Sheen shopper, right? Because Trump's executive order took away that exemption for Chinese products that were like under $800 or $900, I believe, was the exemption from tariffs. All that. I'm telling you guys, bro. I know some Sheen shoppers now, man. I'll tell you that, man. I'm sorry. I should have bought some. You should have bought a lot of that stuff ahead of time. I mean, you still got some time. I think got like maybe another week or two. But I mean, it is what it is. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's start actually now transitioning to our next part of the segment. I gotta look at my other screen here so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need my headphones, ain't I? Sure am. Sure am. Damn, it's 3 in the morning. 3:30 in the morning. All right, guys. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all got like 30 more minutes because I have to get my sleep schedule back in order. Because Monday I go back to my more regular schedule. So I'll be coming online a little bit earlier now. But oh yeah, before I start it, let me just update you too on like the schedule thing. Still Sundays is still church, religion streaming. I'm not gonna do it this particular Sunday, but after this week, right? That'd be in. But no. Sorry. It's late, man. It is, not only is it late, but like I got stuff I gotta do. So now speaking into like the stuff that I am doing personally, right? So now that I got a lot of the hardware and stuff I have, I'm starting to now actually dive into my dream of doing deep learning into artificial intelligence. I mean, I already know like a little bit, and I was already dabbling on a lot of stuff before now. But now like I'm actually like getting into creating stuff myself now, and it's going to be quite a intense endeavor for me. So I want to say 3 to 4 of those streams, like Monday through Thursday, is going to be me doing this tech stuff. Okay. And what I mean by that is that I think I'm going to be working on the Azure. I think I'm going to be working on the Azure administrator certificate first and get that before I then start learning what is it? TensorFlow, which is like related to Python. Well, they're really separate things, but you probably don't know any of this stuff, but like just know it's just computer stuff, and we need to get creating. Like I gotta get this stuff going. We have 9 years. You guys have 9 years. If anybody, especially if you're just joining in and you live in the United States, you have about 9 more years to put yourself in the strongest, greatest position, assuming nothing catastrophic happens before then. 9 years is when the catastrophe will start to hit all aspects of life. Okay, because I could tell you for sure with Trump, these next 4 years, not only are our fiscal problems going to be not only are the fiscal problems not going to be fixed, there's no telling what happens in the next election and how much of a heavy hand he plays. But also there's no telling in like how much more erosion he puts on the United States position and relationship with the rest of the world, because we're starting to approach a point where a lot of dependency or a lot of faith in the United States, which would also be the reserve currency, right, is starting to really dissipate now. If I'm not mistaken, I think Russia just opened up their currency to Mexico. I don't remember if Mexico like actually started doing it, but what these things, what this essentially means is that eventually over time, especially if we're going to sit there and abuse our friends, these are our friends, right? Canada, Mexico, European Union. If we're going to abuse our friends to this degree by leveraging the fact that they all do business in the United States dollar, they're going to stop using the United States dollar or start making themselves independent. Colombia, right? Colombia does a lot of business in the United States. Now they're going to start, they're going to start wanting this. I believe they already started trying to like modify all their business endeavors into China now, right? Like all these things are putting the United States in a position where in a couple of years from now, right, when things start to hit us really badly because of like how bad the debt and the fiscal stuff is getting with the United States, we will not have allies that are going to want to pitch in and help us, or or the environment is just not even going to even be suitable for it, right? So I say that, I say all of that to say that like you really need to be focusing on whatever you can to build yourself up, garner as much resources and skills as you can, make your money, diversify yourself as best as you can, because like without some significant hard changes, right? We're not talking about just fixing problems now. We're talking about making like really politically unsatiable decisions being made, which nobody's going to do. I mean, it is what it is. Because at this point, I think, what is it? Department of Defense spending is only the 4th most expensive item in the U.S. budget. So I think interest rates is like 3 or 2 interest rates on the debt, right? And so like in like 9 years, I think in about 9 years, it would have eclipsed the whole Medicare, because I think we spend the most on like Medicare and Medicaid. It's like entitlements. So I think it's like you're talking about Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and all that stuff. And to compound that, right? Remember, right? Our birth rates are not doing well either, right? So, just a quick rule of thumb, right? A country gets out of a bad economic situation by doing one of 3 things, or a combination of these 3 things, right? You can either raise taxes, which generates more revenue. They're not going to do that. You can cut expenses significantly, right? Which if you was to fix off waste, fraud, and abuse, it wouldn't put a dent into the actual overall budget. So you have to actually start cutting programs, the entitlements and stuff, which nobody's going to want to do, because that's Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all that other stuff, right? or you grow the economy. And growing the economy is that's not just something, one does not just simply grow an economy, right? You don't just wave your hand and boom, you have economic growth. That's a hit and miss. And then with these tariffs and stuff, right? Like that's out of the water. So that's not even going to be realistic anymore. So you end up now in this situation where it's really not looking good. And I don't know how we get out of it without some like really bad drastic changes, but it is what it is. All you could do is just prepare for it. And you're going to do that by making yourself smart, right? Start pushing yourself into whatever, long-term job security thing you think you're going to have, and start leveraging whatever you can from now until then, because that stuff's now within our reach, right? I can actually confidently say now, based off of like the numbers and stuff with the videos that's been going around, people have been seeing, right? We are within the 10-year window now. We are officially within the 10-year window now. So it's coming, and it's coming very soon. So just do what you can. And I'm going to end it on this. For anybody else that have these faith in all these rich business people, right? Like, especially like Trump, Elon Musk and everything like that. I hope you guys do understand, right? That these people, Vivek Ramaswamy, the PBD podcast, PBD, right? Pat David, all these people, right? That are very successful business people, right? Their decisions, they have an out to, right? If their decisions, the things that they believe in, leads to the country being in a much worse place than what it is, right? Or it leads to our eventual collapse, right? They have money and resources in other countries. They're just going to peace out. You're the one that gets stuck here, right? You're not the one that can just, you just have, a house somewhere else, and you already have passports and legal residency in other countries, and the financial means of just picking up your family, going over there, and then living over there from that point forward. You don't have that, right? So I just hope you understand that these people have a lot less skin in the game when it comes to like whether the United States makes it or breaks it than you do. So, just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind. All right. That's all I'm going to just say on that. And so now with that being said, let's now continue on to our next part of our program here. So I am just going to, see, you made me got distracted when I was saying, right? So yeah. So I'm thinking like Monday through Thursday, right? There's going to be streams for like that stuff, because I'm working on these certificates. I'm working on this AI stuff. And then we'll get into politics and all the other stuff, religion on Sundays. So that's that. Now we can go ahead and let me move my mouse back over here. And I am now just going to spend the next 20 to 30 minutes playing. What time is it? Oh, I was thinking it was 3. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. It's only 1:43 in the morning. Okay, I guess I can give you guys another hour. Try on stream more, bro, and answer your fucking messages, bro. Got me worried. Yes, I will. I can't make any promises, but sure. I am very bad with these messages, but I will respond when I am able to. With that being said, though, actually, Brian, I am actually glad you're here. Let me take this off real quick. Hold on. Is it this one? Let me see if it's this one. I wonder if it's this one. Hold on. Oh, it actually might be this one. So you probably can't interpret this, but this is in Arabic, right? Because this is from Egypt, right? As you know, my business stuff is in Egypt. Let me try to open this up here. They be wrapping this stuff up tight, man. Hold on. Don't read terrorist language. Now I'm playing. You don't got to. Oh, God, there you go with that bullshit again. Jesus Christ, or that BS. Sorry, I try not to use profanity too much if I can help it, but Um, I am halfway through it. Almost through it. Don't want to break what's inside or mess up what's inside. But all right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right. So let's take a look. Oh, cool. It's even wrapped up. Oh, it's even got the seal. You probably also can't see that, but these are like official. These are the seals that they do in Egypt, like when they certify the products, when they certify the metal and stuff in them. It's been a minute since I've opened one of these bad boys. Lots of packaging. Man, okay, here we go. Let me just put this on the table here real quick so I can actually look at what I'm looking at. Ah, yes. Here we go. And more Arabic language. So can't tell you, wouldn't be able to tell you what that is. But if I do recall, Brian, I think you said it was future. Is that the can I bring this a little closer? Is it? Oh, it's blurry. I might have to switch. Oh, you know, I know what I have to do. I gotta manually adjust this. Hold on. And boom, there we go. All right, you see that? That is a pendant actually made just for you. It might be this one. It might be the other one actually, but they look both the same. I just gotta I gotta get my translator so I can make sure I got the right one with the right hieroglyphs. But there you go, right? This one's in sterling silver with plated gold. One plated gold. I think I did this one in rubies. Yeah. Looks this one looks really nice. In that word that you wanted, right? I think it was future, right? I gotta look back, right? It's gonna take me a minute to retranslate. But I'll message you on Discord soon. Maybe tomorrow. Because definitely ain't gonna be tonight, but tomorrow. Now let me just put this over here safely so you don't mess up. Just a rule of thumb, right? I don't use those chemicals that I don't have the means. I'm working on it, but I don't have the means to use those chemicals that do the anti-oxidating, right? So like a lot of like the big manufacturers, they have like these like really fancy chemicals. I don't know if they're even safe to begin with, which is why I'm hesitant to even use them. But these chemicals that keep your camera blur. Oh yeah, right. Bam! Look at that. Oh, I look good. Yeah, it's they got your chemicals that keep silver from being oxidized. Okay. I'm really skeptical. I've been trying to do a lot of research and trying to figure out a way of potentially like implementing it. It just seems like a lot of hassle. I'm not even really making money like that on here to begin with. But so for right now, right, it's pure silver, right? It is pure silver with some gold plating. So what that means is that like if you especially if you expose it to sulfur or you don't take good care of it, right, it will oxidize, right? It is silver. I don't know how much you're into in chemistry, but silver does oxidize over time. And so just remember to use baking soda to get, to get the oxidation off, right? It's not rust, right? If you want, and I welcome this too. I always tell people I always welcome this, right? Because I've done it personally myself. You can always go to an actual jeweler or something and get it tested if you think it's fake, right? I've had people that thought that my gold, my gold products were fake, and I was like, hey, you test them and you test it. Give me the paperwork and show me. And like every time the tests come back. So I promise you, jewelry is just not fake. It's just I just don't have it treated with those chemicals that the big businesses are able to like treat it with. So that's all. Bro, I appreciate that. Hey, no problem. I'll send you again probably tomorrow. I'll send you some photos so you can actually like get it up close to. I gotta make sure I'm even looking at the right one because there's two of them that's like nearly identical. I just gotta remember the translation for the hieroglyphs. Like this one right here. Um, yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and let us continue. Send me yours out. Nah, it's all good, fam. We ain't. It's for you, all right. I'm paying you back. How much was it? You don't want to know, especially now that Trump's tariffs is in play. Okay, so in fact, now that I think about it, thank you for reminding me. I gotta actually go on the website. I need to start updating prices too. And I gotta also change some stuff around. Because none of those tariffs haven't hit exactly quite yet, but they're getting ready to. So I haven't seen what he's doing with the Egyptians quite yet, but we'll see. My Egyptian guy is saying things are getting real bad over there, and so we'll see how it all plays out. I might even be able to do it no more. Thank you generally though. No problem, fam. I got you. All right, now let's go ahead and I need more water, and then we're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna watch this video, how Israel cucked the United States, because why not? See what that one is. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder if this is, see, they messed up might need to touch it tad a little bit. Yeah, that looks like about as good as I'm gonna get it. All right. And I'm out of water, so if I'm ever thirsty again, I gotta go. Okay. Well, now let's get started. I got another package I have to open. You know what? I might as well. I'm already here. Let me open this on up too. So this one, I said I get a bunch of stuff. I do what do you call it? Pariah, not pariah. It's a special parch paper that the Egyptians use when they do like their artwork and stuff. I do get those as well, or can get those as well. People that are interested, but I've been super busy trying to get all this other stuff together. I'm just taking a quick moment just to look and see what I got in here. Okay, cool. I'll clean that up in a moment. Let me just take a quick look, because in case there's any issues, I gotta resolve them actually like tonight. Let me just see what's in this one, and then we're gonna get started. Oh yeah, and this is my my other stuff. Yeah, let me just show you guys. Like, see, just some of the stuff that we sit there. Probably can't see it, but like, you see, this one actually looks pretty good. Gold plated, not actual gold, right? But this is gold plated. Okay. I only do the golds like for actual orders, but I'll get gold plated just to actually show like what they can look like. So these actually look really, really good and really nice. And then, well, you probably can't see it from here, but they have the stamp. They have the the stamp on there to talk about like their purity. Yeah, these look really good. I'll have to work them in my inventory when I get a moment. Tell you, man, I'll just be busy. Let's see. Let me see what we got. Thank you, generally. I have a necklace I can put that pendant on easily. Oh, awesome. Can we do a little simp moment for ALC? Oh, Jesus Christ. Fine. Just because, have you seen her interview? Her interview that the thing she did with the comedian guy. I was watching that. I wish I could remember his name. I was just watching him with Jen Psaki, Biden's like press secretary. But yeah, man, AOC, people don't man. But I'm not gonna fall in that trap, so I'm gonna just go ahead and push for it now. You put me on, bro. Sure. And for fragrances, and I hope you're not talking about AOC. No, I think you know what? It's cool if you think that way, but if you're talking about AOC, ain't no way. I'm not even gonna repeat that because that's verifiably false, in my opinion. Okay, because to each their own. But I'm not even gonna even repeat that one. But fragrances, not really. But I do have some Egyptian oils. Those are a lot harder for me to get. I haven't gotten a shipment, I think, since I left Egypt. So I'm not even really a big spray person to begin with, so I don't really mess with the fragrances. But if you're talking about AOC with that, that's crazy because I find that very hard to believe. Let's go ahead and let me just start getting this up. Oh, you know something? Should probably wait till this plays.
In July of 2000,
yeah, see, stuttering and everything. So I like to keep my computer on a custom made power profile where I save it lots of power by underclocking the CPU. So let me actually take a look at said CPU here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, see, 1 gigahertz, right? Incredibly low for a CPU. But that's like how I like to use it for most things, right? Obviously, if I'm trying to do a bunch of other things, right, which is going to be playing this game while this video is playing, I'm going to need to bring that back up. And see, now things are even looking a lot more snappy and faster. See, CPU is now like 4.2 gigahertz. Awesome. All right, let's do this. I have no idea what this video about. It says how Israel cucked the United States, so this will be interesting. This channel relies on donations. Ooh, man, my pronunciations are just eroding slowly today. Sources. Ooh, they got a Google Doc sources. Wow, look at that. Okay. A little something, right? We'll see. We'll have to, if this piques our interest enough, we'll see what this is about. Let me throw this right here. I guess I'll leave those sources open for now. And yeah, I guess I could just leave that alone too. Close that. Let me get my headphones. Let me make sure the audio still works. Reading from my laptop. That's what I thought. Let me see. Hold on. Do I need to? Okay, so that's for speakers on the laptop, but I needed the feed onto the actual HDMI. So please. I see. I'm going to have to, because what that is that's probably, damn, and it's starting to stutter over here on the stream side. One thing's for sure though, right? Like my stream has been a lot more consistent and less buggy, but there's still just a tad bit more things that we just gotta just clean up, clearly. Hold on. Did that background really just disappear just like that? That's crazy. It's crazy that that would actually just disappear like that. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna need to actually fix that. Hold on. Okay, so come on. I'll bring you like over here. Like that. Bring you underneath the captions. And then for the captions, I don't understand why they are messed up like that. So let's bring that down like that. That'll be good enough for now. Can't actually believe it. Thank you, gang. I mean it. Sure, man. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my stuff here now because we still don't quite have it quite yet here. Clearly. All right. Now let me disable and re-enable Legato now that I have fixed that part of it. And that's upsetting that the encoder is still like getting thrashed like that. Maybe I should get me a 5090. Maybe a 5090 will help. You know? Okay, so disabled that. Let's re-enable that. And now let's see if the sound problem has been resolved, which I think what I'll do is I'll just play a song. Let me just get a song in here. Come on. Of course. I can't even play a song. That's so sad. No joke. If there was ever a Jubilee video about hold on, let's see. Actually, literally, I'm just a viewer who your takes and values, your opinion. I appreciate it. I joke if there was ever a Jubilee video about anti-Republican Trump, your shit would literally blow up. I guess. I don't know. That might be giving me a little too much credit there. Oh, you know something? I wonder if it's actually. Oh, because I see the Elgato. The Elgato is actually making noise, but I can't hear it. So I wonder. No, I hear it. Okay, I hear that. So the Elgato is not making noise. So something else. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We finally got it. Nice. All right. Yeah, let me not play too much of that. But okay. Now we're golden. So now let me just fix this. Whoa, why did it do that? Hold on. Let's go back. Yeah, there we go. I think 60 hertz will be fine. And we don't need a full screen. We need it full screened. But I do need it a lot bigger than this though. Bro, why can I not just have things just work? I guess I'm full screening it, I guess. Yep. Guess I'm full screening it. Let me just mess with the things once more. At 36. I don't even know. Is it even gonna? Huh, I guess it does actually work like that. That's a little crazy. Ain't no telling how that's gonna actually react because my display is not 4K friendly, but I guess we will. Oh yeah, that lag is terrible. So hold on, let me highlight and see, blah blah blah. Right then. Okay, you ever thought about joining Jubilee for videos like that? So just so you can advertise your channel more? Absolutely not. I actually like staying undercover and whatnot, if I'm being quite honest. You know, it was never really much of like the public spot. I mean, I don't mind it and I don't have a problem with it, but I mean, and you know, it is what it is. I'm not going out of my way to seek it. If it happens, it happens. Cool, but because clearly, like, you know, at any point in time, I could just disappear, just because I feel like doing something else at that moment of time, or having to go do something else. So, you know, I mean, it's whatever. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Way better now. Okay. I just gotta remember my buttons now. Can I remember my buttons? What, do we not have any more shelf space? Is that why you guys, oh no, is it when oh, so it was paused the whole time. So you guys were actually not working when I was doing stuff. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's get started on the video here. Let's see what this video is about.
Team of historians and political scientists sat down to interview Bob Gates for the George Herbert Walker Bush Oral History Project. Gates was CIA director during Bush's tenure. These were eventful years, and so the men spoke of the Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, Somalia, German reunification, a fascinating insider perspective into the first Bush White House. Amid the interview, historian H. William Brand asked by Chief a question many were doubtless curious to know. Was there anybody that George Bush actively disliked? Shamir. Gates, of course, is referring to Yitzhak Shamir, the Israeli Prime Minister at the time. But I will say this: every president I worked for at some point.
Gotta head out, brother. Gotta wake up early tomorrow, snowboarding with friends, and got a date in the afternoon. Oh my God, I cannot stand you. All right, fam. Great talking to you again. Like I said, I'll message you later. I'll message you technically later today, right? Yeah, I'll message you later today on the goods. I'll see you then, fam.
In his presidency would get so pissed off at the Israelis that he couldn't speak. It didn't matter whether it was Jimmy Carter or Jerry Ford or Ronald Reagan or George Bush. Something would happen, and they would just absolutely go screw themselves right into the ceiling. They were so angry, and they'd sort of rant and rave around the Oval Office. I think it was their frustration about knowing that there was so little they could do about it because of domestic politics and everything else that was so frustrating to them. But he did not, I think, care very much for Shamir. I'm trying to think about others, but I can't think of any others. No doubt, 2 decades before Bush was even sworn in as president, Lyndon Baines Johnson was feeling just as angry and ineffectual.
It's talking about a lot of history stuff, but I don't understand what's going on. Can I? Okay, so I can already tell this is going to be annoying. Am I at least able to, like... No, I can't do it right here. Okay. Well, so much for the ad. I'd probably have to use Edge. Okay, and then doing this with the game is also going to be problematic, I see. I'll tap that twice.
It was the morning of June 8th, 1967. Navy Ensign John...
You take care. Take care, Brian.
His birthday was business as usual. His crew was stationed in the Mediterranean after having traveled all the way from West Africa. It was an early morning. Just before 4 a.m., he'd get to work. Deck watch. At about the exact same time, a Nord Atlas took to the sky to begin an air reconnaissance patrol. The plane, belonging to the Israeli Air Force, was patrolling along the Mediterranean coast to detect ships beyond radar range. There was only one. It was Navy Ensign Scott's ship. On the bridge, Scott spotted the plane. He grabbed his binoculars to get a better view. A flying boxcar with a double fuselage and twin engines. Just 15 minutes before, Scott had watched the ship's American flag being pulled by the wind. Up in the cockpit of the Velazquez, an Israeli naval officer scanned below, serving as an aerial observer. At 5:45, the plane began reporting that the ship was a destroyer. Less than 20 minutes later, though, according to official Israeli history, the plane reported that it was, in fact, a U.S. Navy supply ship. The observer had even spotted the ship's hull markings, GTR-5, and the plane's crew radioed the information to ground control. Upon landing, the observer was by a Lieutenant Commander Pachasi of Air Command, after which, according to an official Israeli inquiry, the identification of the ship was determined to be the U.S. Navy ship Liberty. Hi, my name is GDF, and you can probably tell by the direction that this video is going in that I'm not very advertiser friendly. For that reason, I rely completely on my patrons, subscribers, and donations. Hours before the attack, Israel knew not only that an American ship sailed nearby, but that it was the spy ship Liberty. Aboard the USS Liberty was a signals intelligence and crypto command called the Naval Security Group, an organization which reported to the National Security Agency, the NSA. Outfitted with 45 towering antennas and a satellite dish on the ship's stern which bounced messages off the moon to Washington. The ship's true mission was a poorly kept secret.
Ugliest ship in the Navy, and the most unusual, and therefore the easiest of all ships to recognize.
The ship's captain, William McGonigal, would later testify that the configuration of the ship with unusual mast
Oh,
antennae
man.
had
Gosh,
resulted
I
in
can't
some
even see the
surveillance from
prices.
Southwest African countries during its first its usual stomping grounds. African art and masks decorated the ship's walls.
Let's assume all the prices are good for right now.
Angola, Liberia, and Gabon. From the port of Abidjan, however, the ship received new marching orders. Late spring saw things heat up rapidly in the Middle East. Egypt and Israel appeared ever closer to war. The ship was now to sail towards Spain, and finally, off of the Sinai Peninsula.
Oh, so this had to be like in the 1990s, right? Was this like in the 1980s, 1990s then? There we go.
Each day, beginning with Israel's preemptive attack on Egypt, the Liberty was sending a steady stream of updates back to Washington about Israel's capturing the Sinai and the West Bank, including the old city of Jerusalem, in just the first 3 days. The ship was very much not a battleship, and as we shall see, almost completely defenseless. The Liberty carried no cannons and was armed with Browning 50 caliber machine guns. The ship's four-page gunnery doctrine declared the mounted gun's primary function was to repel boarders, not shoot down fighters. The ship's infirmary was, in turn, not outfitted for war zones. Out of a crew of almost 300, the main ward could accommodate just 4 patients. On a previous cruise, a sailor had to be evacuated to a hospital in Senegal for appendicitis. The examination room, with its lone surgical table, carried sutures and local anesthetic. However, the sailors did not have much reason to believe they'd be targeted for attack by anyone. Its flag flying on its mast, its freshly painted hull markings, its configuration, size, and speed, coupled with clear weather and lack of surrounding ships, made an attack all the less likely. After all, no nation had ever attacked a spy ship, so the worries were not overt, particularly because the Liberty sailed in international waters. Navy Ensign Scott still had eyes on the plane, and even shot 4 photos with a 35mm camera. The plane circled around several times, then took off in a true direction toward Tel Aviv. A single jet aircraft circled the ship at 8:50. Two more jets circled 3 times at 10:30, 11 a.m. Another plane circled. More planes came at 11:30, 11:45, 12:20, and 12:45. The weather log on the Liberty showed clear skies, calm seas, and excellent visibility north of the Sinai on June 8, 1967. The calm preceded a vicious storm. Just before 2 p.m., Captain McGonigal peered through binoculars from the starboard wing. He spotted a fighter jet. Ensign Patrick O'Malley studied the radar. On the screen were 3 blips. We've got 3 unidentified vessels, steady bearing, increasing range, coming right at us.
Captain, I've never seen anything approach the ship this fast.
McGonigal turned to Lieutenant Junior Grade Lloyd Painter. I think they're going to attack. French-made Mirage jets straight for the Liberty. The bridge was first. Rockets and 30mm cannon rounds pummeled the vessel. Shrapnel flew everywhere.
And I could see orange flashes dancing down the deck. Men in the forward gun mounts. Both.
Oh, is this when the Israelis attacked the U.S. ships? I think I remember this.
The Liberty never stood a chance. From just the first burst of bombs and bullets, the ship's machine guns were destroyed. Antennae were smashed. Basketball-sized craters littered the deck and bridge. McGonigal alerted the crew to increase speed to maximum power, but the jets had blown out one of the ship's 2 boilers. The Liberty's max speed would be just about 13 miles per hour. Jets tag-teamed the ship and attacked it in a crisscross formation. The fighters first strafed the Liberty from bow to stern, targeting the bridge, machine guns, and antennae. With those destroyed or on fire, the attackers crisscrossed the spy ship to target the engine room, the Liberty's heart. The attack waved about every minute. Radioing for help proved increasingly impossible as the jet targeted each of the ship's 45 antennae. 6 minutes into the attack, the raidmen switched transmitters hoping to get a message out, but the receiver blared feedback noise. Thinking this was just a malfunction, the men were horrified to find the same noise on every frequency, leading the radiomen to conclude that the attackers had jammed the Liberty's communications. Since only between the operators received signals. The Mirage fighters were just the beginning. The second phase of the attack saw the fighters replaced by missile bombs armed with napalm. Burning at 3,000 degrees, the explosion sent smoke barreling through the bridge. Bits of flaming jelly, charred walls, and blistered paint. Fuel barrels on fire and more smoke in the air. After unloading their payloads, the bombers too vanished. There was now another column in the skies, though not aboard the Liberty, whose deck was strewn with dead and dying. But still, the worst was yet to come. As those three blips on the radar screen still hadn't arrived yet.
Torpedo boats that happened within the three blips that I had seen on the radar scope had reached us and were now firing piercing bullets through the ship.
McGonagall again pulled up his binoculars and saw, some 15 miles off the starboard side, three torpedo boats coming straight toward him. The skipper ordered new men to replace the dead ones at the 50 cals, and a new American flag race to replace the one knocked down by the jets. They grabbed the largest one they had, 7 by 13 feet, and pulled it up the mast at 2:26 p.m. Up until now, the ship's crew had no idea who was even attacking them. Egyptians? Soviets?
I saw what appeared to me to be an Israeli flag on the boat.
No doubt McGonagall was stunned to find as the torpedo boats approached some 2,000 yards away, a blue and white with a star of in the center. The boats then opened fire. Along with 50 pounds of their own, the ships also possessed 20 and 40 millimeter cannons. These weapons, of course, were designed to create a distraction.
My bad.
As the gunners manually aimed torpedoes at the Liberty. Nearly 300 sailors now prepared for the unthinkable. Not since the waning days of World War II, and before many of the Liberty's crew members were even born, had another nation torpedoed an American ship. At 2:34 p.m., McGonagall watched a torpedo gliding underneath the water, which flew past the Liberty's stern by 25 yards. But the Israeli boats had fired 5. At 2:35 p.m., the Liberty was lifted out of the water and flashed back down. The power was out. All the generators and steering had failed. A single torpedo had slammed directly into the ship's starboard side, blasting a hole 39 feet wide and 54 feet tall.
I don't know who you stealing from, but
Oil, classified documents, key card, and bodies poured out into the sea. 25 sailors were killed by the explosion. If not during reconnaissance flights over the Liberty, then certainly amid the attack,
can you get a sledgehammer?
identified what it was. According to Lieutenant Colonel Kislev, then Israel's chief air controller at General Headquarters in Tel Aviv.
The Air Force stopped operations on Sasquatch at please stop. I must say that at that point, in my mind, you thought I was quite certain it was a ship.
More than 20 minutes before the fatal torpedo strike that killed 25 sailors, Israel's chief air controller conclusively identified the Liberty as an American ship. Navy Ensign
Can I hit somebody with this?
Torpedo blast instructed his men to grab life preservers and prepare to abandon ship. The men dropped several life rafts overboard, but Lieutenant Painter watched in horror as one of the torpedo boats zoomed past and machine gunned the rubber raft. The torpedo boats continued to rain shells and armor-piercing 50-caliber rounds at the ship. Finally, the firing stopped. One of the torpedo boats approached to about 500 yards away from the Liberty. At this point, the Liberty's crew were using the lamp to signal U.S. naval ship. Bizarrely, the torpedo boat signaled back. Do you need help? No. Do you want us to stand by? No, thank you. Reply. Followed by the last communications from the Israeli vessel. Good luck.
Okay, I mean, so far that's not really new information. I mean, I knew that the Israelis had attacked the U.S. ships at one point. I forgot what was the thing about that.
It was still morning in Washington. At 11:04 a.m., President Johnson left.
Like they said it was an accident, or if they even acknowledged it.
The Oval Office, and then made his way into the Situation Room, where he was briefed by Defense Secretary Robert McNamara, Secretary of State Rostow, the National Security Advisor. Also joining them was Clark Clifford, Chairman of the President's Foreign Intelligence Advisory Board. We were baffled, Clifford later wrote memoir counsel to the president. From the beginning, there was skepticism and disbelief about the Israeli version of events. We had enormous respect for Israeli intelligence, and it was difficult to believe the Liberty had been attacked by mistake. Every conceivable theory was advanced that morning. It became clear that from sketchy information available, we could not figure out what had happened. Despite doubt from the Johnson administration, as we shall see from Johnson himself, Congress was either completely silent or came to Israel's defense. As the Liberty crew was clinging to life, turning their mess hall into a makeshift emergency room, plucking hundreds of shell holes to keep the ship from shifting.
That shit's crazy, honestly.
Jacob Javits took to the Senate floor. The government of Israel has already stated that this was an erroneous attack by Israel's forces. The government of Israel has apologized. I am sure that it will do everything that one would expect by way of compensation and other appropriate measures, said the senator from New York. Senator Frank Lauchi of Ohio, member of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, Israel for its great valor during the war, calling it heroism unequaled. Regarding the Liberty, extreme caution should be exercised by the United States so that there will not be reimposed upon the Israel nation conditions on U.S. aid. Abraham Rivikoff, senator from Connecticut, spoke solemnly of the tragic loss of life on board the USS Liberty, the subject of armed attack. But not before gushing. With dedication, courage, and heart, the Israeli people have fought a remarkable fight. The senator from New York, none other than Bobby Kennedy, named the perpetrator to his credit. The tragic mistake of today, when Israel's forces attacked a U.S. ship, must alert us all, if further alert were needed, to the danger of the world we live in. But not before lauding Israel. Throughout this country and all over the world, men are moved and impressed by the bravery of Israel's people for the last 4 days.
My God, The glazing over Israel is just wild. Why didn't they just leave it at, okay, it was an accident, they'll fix it.
Which occurred in the Mediterranean when an Israeli ship mistakenly attacked an American ship, followed by an all too familiar rhetorical device which endures to the present day. These are the tragic consequences of armed conflict. And that was it. Sure, more than 2 dozen lawmakers took the floor to applaud Israel for its performance on the battlefield. But not a single other lawmaker mentioned the attack on the Liberty, the day that it became public knowledge. Each one of these expressions of sorrow were buried in speeches promoting Israel as an ally and, of course, championing aid to the country. Things didn't change much in this regard, even as the facts of what happened came to light. How could this be? The Zionist project to colonize Palestine has existed in modern form since the first Aliyah in 1882 to the land which was at that point still under Ottoman rule.
Oh, we have paper bags now?
The earliest Zionist lobbies in the United States include the Zionist Organization of America, founded in 1897. With the establishment of the State of Israel, recognized by Harry Truman's government minutes after the clock struck midnight on May 14, 1948, more lobbies were organized in order to secure aid to the nation's Jewish state. One would be more consequential than any other. It called itself the American Zionist Council. Its frontman in Washington, Isaiah Kennan, was previously the public relations official for the American branch of the Jewish Agency for Israel, formerly the Jewish Agency for Palestine. For this work, Kennan registered as a foreign agent in 1947, pursuant to the 1938 Foreign Agents Registration Act. But in 1951, Kennan assumed his new role as a lobbyist. The American Zionist Council's mission was securing aid, at this point still economic assistance, since Truman placed an arms embargo on the country calculated to avoid alienating Arab countries. Their first success came with the Mutual Security Act, the successor to the Marshall Plan that allotted tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, my bad. You shouldn't have walked in my way.
This comprised the first major U.S. foreign aid package to the Jewish state. Kennan carefully crafted a model which endures to the present, and in celebration of the aid package, began sponsoring trips to Israel.
You know, I would actually argue that so the knowledge about, you know, the Israelis attacking the U.S. ships back then, I even knew that, and I wasn't even really like all too like keen into all of the historical stuff that was just going on back then. I mean, you know, especially since it's so far long ago. But if you look at just like the demeanor of like all those congressional people, and then like the super crazy unwavering support that the Israelis had back then, they sure as hell do not have that now. Now, oh, God forbid they was to ever make a mistake like that again, right? That would definitely be it. And then the thing is, I think since now we're jumping to this like freedom, I don't want to call it freedom of speech, but like this thing of like being less censorship throughout like the whole media apparatus now. I want to say like stuff like this will probably be cropping up a little bit more, as long as it's like factual. I mean, like everything he's saying, like I actually already knew, for the most part. And then just like how much of a massive glaze people were back in the day when it came to Israel. But Israel doesn't have that level of like of just like cuckery type of support anymore. So, I want to say like those times are like long gone now. So now like there'll be like some proper accountability, or just more focus on just U.S. stuff versus like these foreign aids and whatnot to begin with anyway. So we'll see how things played out. But I want to say that at least things are in like a better place now. I am tired. I'm really tired. Alright, let's play back that video. I am making money.
Preempting the 1952 election, the American Zionist Council inserted political positions into the campaigns of the Democrat and Republican candidates for the presidency. Pro-Israel positions represented across the board. The idea that tax-exempt donations were being used to lobby for aid to a foreign government or the ensuing Eisenhower administration, writes Middle East policy scholar Stephen Spiegel. The tension between the Eisenhower administration and Israeli supporters was so acute that there were rumors, unfounded as it turned out, that the administration would investigate the American Zionist Council. Therefore, an independent lobbying group was formed within the auspices of the American Zionist Committee. And so, the American Zionist Committee for Public Affairs was formed. Kennan would additionally put his background as
you know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, see, like it seems like back then, like it's like the whole Jewish, like the whole Israeli Jewish stuff, bro. Like they seemed a lot more integrated and powerful when it came to like the government and the inner workings of the government than they do now. Like you just don't hear much or see much about them anymore. Like sure, like there's support. There's like, you know, the typical support, especially from like the old people in Congress, sure. But like they're just all that's just gone with now. Now like the whole isolationist part of America really is more or less back. So like all of that just doesn't or would not fly anymore. So it's cool. It's guess, you know, it's kind of cool to kind of actually like this. I don't want to say reflect as if like, you know, I lived through it, but it's kind of cool just to see like how, you know, how the nation has like moved, how the nation has moved from that kind of stuff. No longer dealing with such like integrated foreign stuff. Although you could probably argue Russia's a whole nother different story now. Although I'm just joking. I'm joking. All right. But yeah, like we're dropping all that foreign stuff, all that foreign integration, stuff like that. Isolationists, here we are.
Founding the Near East Report. Over the years, at the request of the Jewish Agency for Israel made available to the American Zionist Council the sums listed below for subscriptions to the Near East Report. The weekly editorial would be sent to, ultimately, every single member of Congress. Money poured into the agency coffers, courtesy of the Jewish Agency. When Executive Vice Chairman Dr. Hammer was asked, do you know, prior to 1960, approximately how much you supplied to the American Zionist Council? Hammer responded, my record would be somewhere in the neighborhood of around 600 to 700,000 prior to 1960. Each year, he was asked, each year, yes, sir. The new decade would constitute a new era for the organization, especially for its lobbying arm, who in 1959 would send a letter to the office of the Secretary of the U.S. Senate. This is to advise you that the American Zionist Committee for Public Affairs, which is registered with you, has changed its name to the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. At daybreak on June 9th, deck crews began cleaning up the wreckage of the USS Liberty. All that remained but the bodies, including stored in freezers and air-conditioned rooms. With hoses, they washed blood, flesh, and bone off the deck. Sailors even discovered a shoe with a foot still inside. Just 2 days after the attack, the Naval Court of Inquiry investigating the event convened in London. Admiral John McCain Jr., Navy Commander of Europe and the Middle East, appointed Rear Admiral Isaac Kidd Jr. to lead the inquiry. And Kidd chose Captain George Boston as chief counsel.
My name is Ward Boston Jr., retired Navy Captain, United States Navy, Counsel for our inquiry, as a result of the Israeli shooting up the USS Liberty on June 1967.
Their report was completed by the end of the month. Among their findings, the ship was hit by more than 821 shells and rockets, many of them incendiary. Notably, from the time of the first air attack onward, attackers were well accurate,
now I gotta fix it.
crisscrossing rocket and machine gun runs from both bows, both beams, and quarters effectively chewed up the entire topside, including ship control and internal communications. Well-directed initial air attacks had wiped out the ability of the 450 caliber machine guns to be effective. As for the torpedo boats which followed the jets, PT attack first developed from starboard sign and was identified as a high-speed run-in. And very shortly thereafter, the commanding officer identified the Star of David flag on its lead boat. The inquiry addressed a number of Israeli explanations for what they maintained was an accidental attack on the Liberty. Namely, the claim that the Israelis had mistaken the Liberty for the Egyptian El Quds, which they say was sailing in the vicinity of a shell bombardment on Sinai. Navy investigators called this resemblance highly superficial, saying El Quds is less than half the size and lacks the elaborate antenna array and distinctive hull markings of Liberty. The location of the superstructure island, a primary recognition feature of merchant-type ships, is widely different. Further, they concluded it is inconceivable that either the IDF Navy or Air Force would associate Liberty with her 450 caliber machine guns, or El Quds armed with 2 3-pounders with a shore bombardment. Of course, the Israeli claim that the Liberty flew no flag was roundly contradicted by witness, including Ensign David Lucas, Lieutenant General Painter, Ensign John Scott, who will remember was up at dawn for deck watch, Lieutenant George Golden, RMC Wayne Smith, and of course none other than the Captain McGonigal himself. Despite these findings, the report concluded that available evidence combines to indicate the attack on Liberty on June 8 was in fact a case of mistaken identity.
From hard hats to steel-toed boots, Granger's got your safety.
I mean, I understand. I guess it happens. It is just kind of wild,
The findings of the report,
you know, but identity is for you to just like, jack it up that bad.
Investigators themselves years later. Projections for the 1960s looked promising for the American Zionist Council, and their expenditures for 1962 to 1963 would constitute a media blitz, including a cultivation of editors, TV and radio interviews, positive articles in the Christian press and in academic journals, seminars in universities, distribution of books to libraries, monitoring of Arabs, among other initiatives. But the ambitious American Zionist Council would be cut short in their prime, or would they? The AZC had caught the attention of the powerful Democrat senator from Arkansas, the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, James William Fulbright. Beginning in 1961, the Senate Committee would charter an investigation to the nature and extent of efforts of foreign governments to influence the content and direction of the United States foreign policy. Fulbright wasn't alone in his concerns. In late 1962, Assistant Attorney General J. Walter Yeagley informed his boss, Robert F. Kennedy, that we are soliciting next week the registration of the American Zionist Council under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, since it was reported that the Council received over $32,000 in subventions and over $11,000 as a special grant from the American section of the Jewish Agency for Israel. Under the Act, the receipt of such funds from a Jewish agency constitutes the Council an agent of a foreign principal. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Yeagley, on behalf of the Department of Justice, orders the American Zionist Council to register as an agent of a foreign government. Less than 2 months later, 6 weeks to be exact, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee severs itself from the AZC to become its own corporation. However, AIPAC would not register as a foreign agent. Despite taking over the entire American Zionist Council's operations, the Fulbright investigation culminates in hearings later in the year, where it is revealed that the Jewish Agency from January 1st, 1955 through December 31st, 1962 made payments totaling $100,000 to the American Zionist Council to carry on activities within the United States. Through its failure to require itemization, the Department of Justice and, therefore, the public was unaware of the public relations activities in the interest of Israel carried on within the United States by the agency. It wasn't until the year 2004 when Agent Boston, senior counsel for the Navy Court of Inquiry into the Liberty Attack, gave in to his guilty conscience. In a sworn affidavit that was inserted into the congressional record, Boston told all. For more than 30 years, I have remained silent on the topic of USS Liberty. However, recent attempts to rewrite history compel me to share the truth. Boston describes how he was assigned to the job while serving as a captain in the Judge Advocate General Corps. He goes on to list the flawed investigation. The late Admiral Isaac Kidd, president of the Corps, and I were given only 1 week to gather evidence for the Navy's official investigation into the attack. Despite the fact that we both had estimated that a proper court of inquiry into an attack of this magnitude would take at least 6 months. Despite these limitations, the pair were able to acquire damning evidence, much of which we went over earlier. The evidence was clear. Both Admiral Kidd and I believed with certainty that this attack, which killed 34 American sailors and injured 172, was a deliberate effort to sink an American ship and murder its entire crew. I recall Admiral Kidd repeatedly referring to the Israeli forces responsible for the attack as murderous bastards. Hammering the point home, the Israeli attack was planned and deliberate and could not possibly have been an accident. I am certain that the Israeli pilots that undertook the attack, as well as their superiors who had ordered the attack, were well aware that the ship was American. I saw the flag, which had visibly identified the ship as American, riddled with bullet holes, and her testimony that made it clear that the Israelis intended there be no survivors.
It was an intended attack, deliberate, well planned, except well executed.
It's crazy.
They didn't sink the ship.
Not only did the Israelis attack the ship with napalm, gunfire, and missiles, Israeli torpedo boats machine gunned 3 lifeboats that had been launched in an attempt by the crew to save the most seriously wounded. A war crime. Their superior, Admiral McCain, was adamant that we were not to travel to Israel or contact the Israelis concerning this matter. Finally, Boston writes that the late Admiral Kidd had personally told him that President Lyndon Johnson and Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara ordered him to conclude that the attack was a case of mistaken identity despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Those situations where political action takes over, then you're told by the President of the United States, Secretary of Defense, to keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. That's a direct order.
That the inquiry should have lasted months and not days is evidenced by the investigation of the spy ship Pueblo, captured by North Korea and its crew held hostage for 11 months in 1968. While the Liberty's inquiry lasted 8 days and produced 158 pages of transcripts, the Pueblo investigation lasted nearly 4 months and produced a transcript almost 3,400 pages long. Of course, Boston was far from the only person who felt the way he did. Then NSA Director, Lieutenant General Marshall Carter, commanded the agency which the Liberty reported to. He was never convinced of the official story, telling his interviewer for an oral history it couldn't be anything else but deliberate. There's just no way you could have a series of circumstances that would justify it being an accident. So said his Deputy Director of Operations, Oliver Kirby. One shot would be an accident, or even one torpedo, but there was damage from all directions. We knew it was deliberate. It was very well planned, premeditated. They knew exactly what they were doing. Assistant Deputy Director of Operations, Brigadier General John Morrison Jr. concurred. We just couldn't believe that. We knew what the Liberty stood for. We knew what it looked like. It was not a small ship. It was a large ship. They being a bright bunch of folks, we had to believe that they knew. They saw the silhouette of the ship. They knew when they...
I'm trying to understand. Really, I would love to figure out, like, what exactly did they what did they mistake it for exactly? Like, if you think about just like whose naval ships would even present a profile picture like close to the Liberty during that time. Like now, like, you got a lot of nations that have like semi-modern navies, right? So they have like warships and stuff. But if you don't, like, back then, like since World War II and stuff, like just, I don't even think even the Chinese had
I don't even think the Chinese had anything back then. So I'm really trying to think. And the Russian stuff, I mean, the Russia obviously collapsed after World War II. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was the Cold War. Getting a little crossed there. And I obviously wasn't like trying to attack a Russian ship. So I'm just really curious. Is Israel... Oh, I got my caps on. That's right. Israel attack on, I'll just say ship. Was an attack on the United States Navy technical blah blah blah. And it says during the 6-Day War. Okay, so during the 6-Day War. So this is during the war period. So here we go. See, so now we're getting a little bit more context there, right? During times of war, you know, stuff that I guess has tended to happen. It shouldn't, but it does, right? If I recall correctly, didn't they haven't the Russians like shot down like 2 planes so far by mistake? There's like one like a Turkish airline, and then the other, I think the one was a Turkish airline. I can't remember what the other one was, but let's see. Liberty incident was attacking the United States Navy, technical research ship, blah blah blah, jet fighter, blah blah blah. During the 6-Day War, the combined air sea attack killed 34 crew members, wounded 107 crew members, and severely damaged the ship. At the time, the ship was in international waters north of the Sinai Peninsula, about 25 nautical miles from the Egyptian city of Arish. Israel apologized for the attack, saying the U.S. Liberty had been attacked in error after being mistaken for an Egyptian ship. But like, did the Egyptians really have... That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so surely the Egyptians had like naval ships. Sure, I get it, right? But like, did they really have a naval ship that was like had the same kind of profile as... Or am I giving the technology a little bit too much credit back then, right? Maybe it just really wasn't as sophisticated as it was now. Like, sure, you can... Well... Yeah, I mean, like if a fighter jet, so like if there's a pilot sitting there flying in, shooting, and then you see a big ass American flag there, you might want to be like, hey, like I just saw, are we sure this is an Egyptian ship? Like I just saw like the American flag just, you know, flying on this. Ain't nobody bothered to say anything. They were just blood hungry. They were just bloodthirsty. Just as the moment they was just told it was an Egyptian ship, they just all sense of reasoning just out of the window. I you know, the crazy thing is I can kind of sort of believe that. Both the Israeli and United States governments conducted inquiries and issued reports that concluded the attack was a mistake due to Israel confusion about the ship's identity. Others, including survivors of the attack, have rejected these conclusions and maintained that the attack was deliberate, accused of having covered up the attack, that the attack was deliberate. The Israeli government paid $32 million to the U.S. government compensation for the families of the 34 men. Okay, so like a little less than, well, I guess back then equivalent to 29 mil. Oh, they paid $3 million back then. I thought it was 32 million. Because I was gonna say like a little bit under $1 million, but even then that's even worse, right? So, 29 million in 2023 dollars to the U.S. government. Usually. For the families of the 34 men killed in the attack, March 1969, Israel paid a further 3.5, so another 29 million to the men who had been wounded. In 1980, it agreed to pay 6 million, so another 22 million as the final settlement for material damage to the ship plus 13 years of interest. Sheesh. Okay, so I haven't even really read even too much into it, and it feels like to me like I'm probably conflating the time back then to like what my expectations would be at right now, right? So I can understand, right? I can understand during times of war like mistakes that happen, but let me see something here. I wonder if he'll tell me Egyptian Navy footprint during 6-Day War. In the 6-Day War, why was the Egyptian Air Force sitting on the ground in daylight while the Israeli Air Force obliterated it? Did they lack radar. I don't want to watch that right now. In a tremendous class of modern armor, Israeli tanks prevailed in the battle. I don't even know if the Egyptians even had a navy. Egyptian navy. When was what was it? 1968? Was that when the it was fought between Israel and a coalition of Arab states, primarily Egypt, Syria, and Jordan from 5 to 10 June 1967. So Egyptian navy. 1967. A few months after the ceasefire, the Egyptian Navy was the first navy in history to sink a ship using anti-ship missiles. When Egyptian Komar-class fleet attack craft sank the Israeli destroyer. Okay, well there we go. That's actually a little bit surprising. The Egyptian Navy fought the Egyptians, all people. I did not think the Egyptians had like naval ships like that, but. And then they were the first ones in October 1967, a few months after the ceasefire. Let me go back. The Egyptians' Navy blockade of Israeli ships in the Strait of Tiran that were headed toward the Israeli port of Eilat was one of the main causes of the Six-Day War. During the war, the Israeli Navy landed 6 combat divers from the Shayelet 13 Navy Commando Unit to infiltrate Alexandria Harbor. The divers sank an Egyptian minesweeper before being taken prisoner. Both Egyptian and Israeli warships made movements at sea to intimidate the other side throughout the war, but did not engage each other. However, Israeli warships and aircraft did hunt for Egyptian Israeli warships and aircraft did hunt for Egyptian submarines throughout the war. Wow, so the Egyptians actually had a much more sophisticated naval footprint than I imagined back. I truly did not think they had like the hardware back then. So they had some hardware, but like I guess it could be an argument about like, I guess we're about to find out about technical sophistication if they were the first ones to sink a ship. In October 1967, a few months after the ceasefire, the Egyptian Navy was the first navy in history to sink a ship using anti-ship missiles. Where the hell my cursor go? So where my other computer? When an Egyptian Komar-class fast attack craft sank the Israeli destroyer INS Eilat with 2 direct hits. This was a milestone in modern naval warfare, and for the first time, anti-ship missiles showed their potential, sinking the destroyer 17 kilometers off Port Said. So, to me, this sounds like if they are the first boat in history, basically, to pull this off, it sounds like to me, right, especially with the lack of true, proper radar identification or whatever it was, right, it looks like to me that the situation looks pretty ripe for a mistake to be made if like another boat was to be in the area. For it could have been the Egyptians that attacked the boat too, for all we know. On the night of the 15th and 16th of November 1969, Egyptian Navy frogmen attacked the port of Eilat and caused severe damage to the armed transport ship. And let's see, on 5 to 6 February, the frogmen, so damn, the Egyptians were like, they were handling that naval warfare, attacked the Israeli landing ships at the same port in St. Pierre, causing severe damages to the landing ship and transport armed ship. Okay, on 8 March 1970, the frogmen attacked the Israeli oil drill at the port, believing that Israel had bought this oil from the Netherlands for the purposes of oil exploration in the Suez Canal. In the Yom Kippur War, Egypt blocked commercial traffic to Eilat in the Gulf of Kaaba by laying mines. It also attempted to blockade Israeli ports on the Mediterranean. The Navy also used coastal artillery to the east of Port Fuad to support the Egyptian army in order to prepare for the assault on the Suez Canal. In the Battle of Baltim, 3 Egyptian Osa-class missile boats were sunk. Man. That's crazy. The Navy lacked its own air arm and depended on the Air Force for maritime reconnaissance and protection against submarines. The Air Force equipment that supported the Navy included 12 guns and 5 Sea King helicopters mounted with anti-ships and anti-submarine missiles. Okay. Well, I have all the information I need. So this makes sense. I can totally understand why you think it was like a legitimate attack. It sounds like to me they were just bloodlusted. That whole nationalism kind of pride and whatnot, and they didn't bother to do their due diligence. But I guess in a time of war, I guess it would make sense. I don't know. It'd be more damning if the U.S. communicated with them and told them that this ship was going to be in the area, and then that information didn't get trickled down properly. Like I would say that would be a little bit damning. But like again, right? That's still that even leads further into just the fact that it might have actually been as intentional as I would have liked to have thought it was, from what they were like pushing or communicating with. But okay. So now we learn something new. 1967. This is the 6-Day War. How did this war end? I think the Israelis won, right? Let me go down to the bottom here. War of attrition. Following the war, Egypt initiated clashes along the Suez Canal, what became known as the War of Attrition, Palestinian terrorism as a result of Israel's victory. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me see. Aftermath. Let's see. The political importance of the 19th war was immense. Israel demonstrated again that it was able and willing to initiate strategic strikes that could change the regional balance. Egypt and Syria learned tactical lessons and would launch an attack in 1917 in an attempt to reclaim their lost territories. After following the other Arab nations in declaring war, remained in a declared state of war with Israel until about 1999. The United States imposed an embargo on new arms agreements to all Middle East countries, including Israel. The embargo remained in force until the end of 1967, despite urgent Israeli requests to lift it. Yeah, see? So even then, right, there's still some restrictions. Like I said, at the end of the day, like we're a pretty isolationist type of nation. So I think we're just going back to the roots of that, is what it just seems like when it comes to all this foreign stuff. That's why we're about to mishandle the shit out of Ukraine. But I mean, it is what it is. That's what the country wanted. So I guess it is what it is. Exodus of Arabs from Israeli-occupied territories, displacement population in occupied territories of about 1 million Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza, 280,000 to that from their homes. Most of them settled in Jordan. Another 70,000 remained in the Golan Heights. 100,000 fled. Israel allowed only the inhabitants of East Jerusalem and the rights to receive full Israeli citizenship, applying its law, administration, and jurisdiction in these territories. In those times, vast majority of populations. Okay. 3 villages south of Jerusalem. Houses were destroyed, not in battle, but as punishment, and in order to chase away the inhabitants, contrary to government policy. Yeah, I can imagine. Like at this point, like back then, I'm sure like there was just gruesome levels of war, levels of just war tactics to just get what you want. But this is also why I'm telling you guys, like it's up for the Palestinians. Like the Gaza is just. It's just done with. That's not going to get fixed now. Now that Trump got voted in, right? The Jewish population is going to get exactly what they wanted. So I mean, that's cool for them. Everybody else, anybody that I have to meet somebody that voted for Trump thinking the Palestinian situation was going to get better. Because now that shit's that's done. That's done. I'll give it like a year. Like they're now in such a weakened state now that. And the Israelis like wrecked Hamas, wrecked what was the people? Was it the people in Jordan? I forgot what the name of the other group was, right? But like the whole leadership chain murked, right? All of the big leadership people that they wanted to get from Hamas murked. Like it's just like as far as the Palestinians, especially if they can goad Trump into like doing like something retarded, like trying to get them like all moved out of there so they can like do like property projects, because you know what that's going to lead into, right? They're going to do property projects. They're not going to be allowed to come back in, or only the ones that maybe like have some money, or maybe they'll have like special like housing places, like just packed like sardines, somewhere in certain like little pockets maybe. But like I mean, that all that's done with. So, following Israel experienced a wave of national euphoria, and the press praised the military's performance for weeks afterwards. New victory coins were minted to celebrate. Yeah. Jews in Arab countries. Population of minorities faced persecution and expulsion following the Israeli victory, contributing to the Judas exodus from Arab lands. Ongoing since 1948. Yeah, war on attrition. Yeah. Here we go. Let's look at the Palestinian stuff a little bit. As a result of Israel's victory, the Palestinian leadership concluded that the Arab world was not able to defeat Israel in open warfare, which in turn led to an increase in terrorist attacks with an international reach. With the Palestinian Liberation Organization was established in 1964, it became more active after the 6-Day War. Its actions gave credibility to those who claimed that only terror could end Israel's existence. Also, after the war, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine emerged, with its leader George Habash speaking of turning the occupied territories into an inferno whose fire consumed the usurpers. These events led to a series of hijackings, bombings, and kidnappings that culminated into the massacre of Israeli athletes during the 1972 Munich Olympics. Yeah, man, this shit's just crazy. You know, this is for my big Christian people. For my big Christian people, that are like ultra Christian, Orthodox, whatever you want to call them here in the United States, right? This is an exact reason why religion should not have any place in government affair, period, right? Because like it always leads to just like some of the most absurd things taking place in humanity, where people just do just stupid shit like this. And I just, I'm glad that has calmed down a lot after the election. We don't hear too much of that, but it's still a problem. And I hope that we can, most of the government stuff is starting to erode away, like, independent judicial branch and all this other stuff. Separation of church and state is probably going to be the next thing to go away. So I guess we'll see what happens. Let me see. Long term, Israel made peace with Egypt following Camp David. Camp David Accords. The position of the other occupied territories is long-standing and bitter cause of conflict for decades between Israel and the Palestinians. And the Arab world, Jordan and Egypt eventually withdrew their claim to sovereignty over the West Bank and Gaza, respectively. Israel and Jordan signed the peace treaty in 1994. After the Israeli occupation of these territories, the movement launched a large settlement effort in these areas to secure a permanent foothold. There are now hundreds of thousands of Israeli settlers in the West Bank. There are a matter of controversy within Israel, both among the general population and within different potential administrations supporting them to varying degrees. Palestinians consider them a provocation. Israeli settlements in Gaza were evacuated in 2005 as part of Israel's disengagement from Gaza. Israel had a disengagement from Gaza back then. It's a strategic move by Israel in which the country unilaterally dismantled all 21 Jewish settlements in the Gaza Strip and 4 additional settlements in the Israeli settlers who had lived in those settlements, as well as the military personnel who protected them, were evacuated and resettled and redeployed elsewhere within Israel. The plan unilaterally, Israel rejecting a coordination orderly handover to the Palestinian Authority. The United Nations, international organizations, many legal laws, and a major academic communists regard the Gaza Strip to still be under military occupation by Israel. Court of Justice reaffirmed this position on the basis of Israel's continued control of the Gaza Strip. 2024 ICJ advisory opinion article 42 of the High Relations President in international law maintained that a territory remains occupied so long as an army could reestablish physical control at any time. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The disengagement was proposed in 2003 by that Prime Minister, adopted in the government in 2004, and approved, blah, 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 this disengagement plan, blah, blah, blah. So, it sounds like to me, I wonder if they're going to, run through another disengagement plan very soon then. Or, well, maybe we might not have to, right? Because they're just about to just turn it into a resort. So I guess it's whatever. Yeah, I guess it's just whatever. All right, well, that is enough for today. Let me move my cursor back over here so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, guys, this was a fun little stream. This nice to be back, or at least to be getting back into the swing of things. Like I said, my politics streaming is going to be a little bit less. We're going to be doing a lot more other stuff from going forward, just because like I really got to get into my tech groove. And so we'll be jumping on that a little bit, but I still have a big interest in the politics stuff, so I'm still going to be doing that. You're just going to see me dabbling in the tech stuff a little bit more often now. So it's been fun, guys. I ain't really got nothing much else to really talk about, but you guys take care, and yeah, you guys take care. Ain't got nothing else to talk about. Adios. I'll see you guys probably Monday when we go into our Azure Administrator Certificate. You'll just be watching me just like learn that. I'll probably change my thing to the programming, I guess, programming topic, right? So let me see where my definitely wasn't one button I wanted to press. I think it's this one, the F7. See, it's been a while, but you guys take care.
Will Almighty ever stop being trash? Can he ever not be sorry? Find out next time on Almighty's stream.